All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to be talking about sex on the first date. What we're going to be watching what some of these ladies think about having sex on the first date, and I'm gonna chime in and give you guys my opinion about that. Okay. For those who don't know me, who are new here, I'm Alex, and I am considered the toxic dating coach, and I like to do this kind of reviews for people who find these kind of videos entertaining. Like this video if you enjoy it, and comment down below for the algorithm. Say anything. Let me know what videos you guys want me to review. Or if you don't like me, comment down below, okay? Or else I'm closing the channel. Let's begin this. And by the way, I have a course called Nice Girl. That course is literally for nice girl. If you struggle being assertive, you could purchase it now. It's only available for purchase this month. Okay, so purchase it now before you lose access to it. Okay, all right, let's begin. Let's see. All right. Okay.
A recent article in the Sydney Morning Herald posed this interesting question. In the age of Me Too, is it still okay to have sex on the first date? The author, Thomas Mitchell, says that despite living in an age of sexual liberation, sex on the first date still suffers from a bad reputation. He says, quote, the typical narrative tells us it's a big no-no because there's some vague speech around what people might think, how you might feel, and what might happen. So ladies, do you think due to the current...
I mean, usually the condemnation of having sex on the first date comes from religion. It's just that simple. The more religious your culture, the more they'll the more they will just, let me say simpler words for me because I can't say that complicated word. The more they'll judge people who have sex on the first date. And anytime you feel guilt about doing something, it's usually because somebody has manipulated you into feeling that kind of guilt. You shouldn't feel guilty for having sex on the first date. That's just, it's not in your biology to feel guilty. That just makes no sense.
Climate, with Me Too going on, people shouldn't be getting it on with someone that they just met.
I don't think people understand what the Me Too movement is about.
Yeah.
Like, this is not about have sex, don't have sex. This is don't be forced to have sex with people you don't want to have. Like, two completely
Exactly.
different things.
Like, Me Too is about something so much greater.
So
It's about
different.
boundaries and respect and having intimacy that's consensual.
Correct.
Well,
This
it's
is
not
consensual.
about what you're saying. Is not about sex. You are
Yeah.
absolutely correct. The
Yeah.
Me Too movement is about someone taking advantage of someone,
Yes.
and they think that they have power.
Correct.
So
Okay, all right. I don't. Come on, get to the point.
it has nothing to do with two consenting adults.
Yes.
My thing is a one night stand can be fun
Yeah.
if that's what you're into.
Right,
Okay. The problem is
Now, here's the part that I'm gonna disagree with them. Watch.
people that aren't into. They think they're into a one night stand, but they're not.
And then they be crying
Not
later.
able to handle
Right.
the consequences.
Exactly. You know.
And then they get in their feelings and drinking their
Exactly.
feelings.
And I'll tell you what. If you're somebody, this is a problem. Is that if you're somebody that gets attached quickly, it's almost like having a handicap for dating. It's a handicap because before you find the right guy, you gotta bang a lot of dudes who are not the right guy. That's just the truth. In everything in life, to find something good, you gotta go through a lot of shit, through a lot of shitty dicks in this occasion. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be reserved sexually and at the same time find the right guy. It's just not how it works. Because one, it takes a guy's sex in order to find out if he likes you, because his dick is clouding his thinking. Okay, and if it's somebody that gets attached quickly, when you have sex with them, you're gonna end up getting attached at the moment of sex, and they're gonna leave. But if you take a long time to have sex with them, when you finally have sex with him, the reason why you're finally having sex with him is because in your mind, you said, "Oh, he has passed my test. He looks like he likes me." You have sex with him, and all of a sudden he pulls away, and you say, "Oh, it was the sex that made him lose interest." No, what made him lose interest was the fact that he had sex with you. He was finally able to see you for who you are without seeing you with the eyes of his dick. And he realized he doesn't like you, and then he pulled away. But now you like him. Now you're stuck with somebody who doesn't like you that much, but that you already qualified him enough to have sex with you. This is the issue, is that in order for a guy to like you, he needs to have sex. But if you use sex as a signal that you are qualified to be with me, In other words, you have proven that you like me. You have proven you're not here to play games, but you're never going to see the real side of the guy until you have sex with him. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You get what I'm trying to say?
Panties, and then it's very confusing.
Well, if you know you want a relationship with someone, don't have a one-night stand. If you know you're looking for a relationship, you know.
You see, and that's the problem is that if you withhold sex, nothing wrong with that, but if you withhold sex, that's pretty much you're saying you want a relationship. And then it'll give him, once he finds out that, he'll say, okay, then all I need to do is tell her I want a relationship too. And he'll play the game and he'll act like he likes you, or he might even think he likes you. But in reality, all of these actions are inspired by his fucking dick. Plain and simple.
Men and women both. I'm not gonna put it all just on women. That they think that, okay, well, I have sex with this person, that's gonna get them. Honey, sex, it's so overrated. I mean, really, it's good, but it's overrated.
Without a connection, there's no connection.
So much bigger than just sex. Like, sex is...
The thing, what they're trying to say is that in order to have sex with somebody, you got to feel a connection with them. And that's fine. I agree with that. But if that's, sometimes you don't know the people who you're going to connect with. Sometimes you don't need a connection. Like, sometimes you may not have the connection on the first date. Okay? But you may want to have sex with them. What I'm trying to say, lady, is this, is that waiting to have sex with a guy will not ruin your chance, will not make your chances better. Now, if you have sex on the first date and he gets turned off, then you don't want to be with that guy. You don't want to be because he judges women for having sex. That guy will judge you in every other area of your life. It's not going to be a fun relationship. So if you say, oh, I don't want to have sex with a guy on the first date because he might judge me, then, you know what? Do it. So that then you can see who they are. Sex on the first date only reveals to the guy how much he likes you. That's what it does.
It's not just gonna keep somebody.
Right. To take it away from just sex, I've noticed since I'm, creeping back into the dating game, I've noticed.
Tell me about it.
So my friends who have been hype on dating, they said a big shift has happened in dating. Tell me if your single friends have said this too.
Okay.
That back in the days, most of the time you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's a third date, fourth date, a week later.
Well, it's because, I'll be honest with you. I usually tell guys to try to bang the girl on the first date. Like, go for it, dude. Okay? But a lot of these guys have been so feminized by the culture that they don't want to make the first move. That's just That's just the feminization of men. Because if you go to Mexico or you go to Italy, where the guys there are toxic men, where they're very toxic in terms of masculinity, they'll make the first move. But if you come to Europe, like Amsterdam, where I am, or even Germany, where it's a very feminist culture and the men are more feminine, the women are the ones that tell you, let's go back home to your place. The women are the one, like, I'll go on a date with a girl and she'll be like, okay, let's go to your place. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, okay, all right, shit. Or like one time I was with a girl and she was like, we hook up today, but we don't fuck. We fuck next time. I'm like, like, Jesus Christ, white girl. Like, why are you, what the fuck, what? Okay, all right, fine. Or the boldest, I swear to God, look, to my mother, this really happened. She was like, I suck your dick, but next time we fuck. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to respond to that, but sure. What the fuck? Like, and she really did that. Like, the next time we fucked, I was like, yo, you gotta, it just shocks me. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy, people. But that's just how some cultures are. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what happens when you reverse the roles. The women then, if you asking men to be more sensitive, more understanding, or to be, that stuff, what's gonna happen is that guys would just go and exaggerate and just not making any moves. And so that means the onus is on you now, because they're afraid to make the move. Now you gotta make the move next. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't ask guys to get in touch with their femininity Because then they'll say, oh, so that means a woman wants a guy who's super masculine, feminine. So what happens is that they don't just develop a little femininity. No, they go all the way. They go all the way. They go to the other side of the goddamn realm, right? Because they don't know what dose. They don't know how much femininity is really attractive in a guy, which I do teach that to guys, like the art of feminine charm in a man.
Hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single,
Right.
and they were like, "You don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story. Where I ain't touching nobody."
I have heard that.
So yeah,
I have heard
there's
that.
something going on out there, and it kind of sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so.
Exactly. Well, the thing is that at that point, people were using that movement for their power. And they were corrupting that movement, just like a lot of movements just get corrupted.
Powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're afraid, even if the girl that they're with,
This is what I'm hearing from my
yes, they're
Yes.
still afraid of what might happen afterwards.
my
Yes,
guy
because
friends-
sadly, if you may be aggressive, a little more aggressive than she thought you would be, it's like everything has to.
And I've definitely had women who say no in a playful way, and I stop, and they say no. That means yes. I'm like, I remember one time, this girl came from fucking Arizona. She may be watching this. She has some herpes, right? Some herpes, right? She came from Arizona, and I brought her in. She was in my apartment, right? And the first night she didn't have sex. I'm like, okay, whatever, right? Maybe she needs to get comfortable. I'm not gonna try. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be persistent. So I tried twice that night, and she was like, nah, whatever. The next day, I tried to make a move, and she was still there, and she was only there for 3 days. I'm like, man, I bought this flight was expensive, man. You know what I'm saying? But the Lexus you bought on the flight, that doesn't mean she's gonna have sex with you. Well, I expect it, okay? I don't care. If I buy you a flight to come see me, I'm not here to talk to your personality. I'm here to maybe fuck, okay? That's just the truth. And if you're not able to see the nuance, then you're pretty naive, okay? You're pretty fucking naive. So the whole day I was trying to make a move, and she was like, no, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool, I'm done. And once I gave up, she started noticing that I wasn't even making a move. So she started kissing me. She started making now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she came to her fucking senses, you know? And then I was like, I took her to the bed, which it was a studio, so it was literally we were in the bed, right? You know, and I started making now. And then she was like, no. And I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And then she was like, what? She was like, no, make a move. And I'm like, okay. Started kissing, took off her shirt. And then I went to touch her boobs, which were magnificent. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay, no problem. Put my clothes. She was like, what? Dude, you're supposed to keep going. I was like, you know what? Get out. Get out of my apartment. She was like, what? I was like, get the fuck out, man. I don't play those games. I don't play those games. Okay? I don't play that game. You played a very dangerous game here. She was like, but I'm just playing. No, get out. She was like, but, no, get out. And she was like, okay, we can do it. And I was like, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? Record it right here. Say that we could do it. I even fucking made her say it. She was like, yeah, I want you to fuck with me. I recorded on the phone. It was on my other phone. Just in case something happened, right? But that game is just, that's why a lot of guys, some guys, like, it's hard to read the nuance, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep watching.
Communicated verbally before it happens physically. Which kind of takes
the fun
moment
out of
out
it.
Imagine if every time, let's say I'm kissing her neck, and then maybe I want to nibble on it a little bit, like a little bite. I have to say, is it okay if I then nibble? because you can nibble and she can be like, you bit me.
Let's watch the next clip.
And you don't even know nowadays because most dates incorporate alcohol. Most women or men don't remember what they said, so you won't.
And you know what? With alcohol, I've stopped getting drunk on dates because what I've noticed is that when you get drunk on dates, you sometimes have unprotected sex, and that's not good. Like I stopped getting tipsy on my dates, man, because of it.
almost got to get somebody to sign it to make sure
that's
that night you
very
said it was okay for me to go down on that neck.
Well, I think in that case, it's not necessarily Me Too. It's going back to good old-fashioned courting and dating and getting to know somebody. And if that's the case, then that is a good thing, you know, because the problem is that people miscommunicate. I do know people that have had one-night stands and they've developed relationships.
And actually got
married.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually better to have sex with them quicker because they're able to think about you clearly without their dicks getting in the way. You get what I'm trying to say? They're able to think about you without having his dick amplifying the way he sees you. So it's smart to do that.
Just wants to play.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you can only find out if you guys are consistently having sex, because over time the desire to have sex lowers. But if it was the desire to have sex that was inspiring his actions, you'll notice that the more you have sex with him, the less he'll be engaged. But if it was really his emotions that were inspiring his attention towards you, you'll notice that the sex decreases, but his interest in you stays. Ladies, again, I'm trying to say this. You can't have your cake and eat it too. In other words, you can't just want to have a cake and at the same time eat it and still want to have your cake. You already fucking ate it. It's gone. You can't have both things, right? So it's kind of like you're just never gonna really know how he feels unless the sex happens. And it's not just me saying this to benefit myself. It's just how things are, people.
Right, and make sure you get that out of him first before you get the good. So give the good so you're not confused.
But you know what? I will say, because I've been dating a lot lately.
That part?
Get that dick.
Do tell.
I've been finding, but you gotta understand, I'm dating older men now. I stopped with the younger men.
But
'cause
define
it's just too
old.
much.
Yeah.
It's actually a good idea to.
Define
Older.
Okay.
Like, you know, between 45 and 50.
Ladies, don't date younger guys. I'm just letting you know. Like maybe 2 years younger, but over that, like you guys might not believe me, but there is a big gap when a guy's younger than you in terms of mentality. Don't date younger guys, man. You're only gonna just be fuck buddies with them.
55.
That's a great age. That's a very nice age.
It's a good age, but what I'm finding is that this is just my suggestion. They tell you what they want. They tell you what they expect and what they
That's
want.
what I'm saying.
And I think a lot of times women, we want something different and we just don't want to listen. But you have to listen. If he's saying I'm dating 2 other people, then he's dating 2 other people. Don't sit here and then you turn around and have intimate relations.
Well, I think they're going out of the topic, but generally speaking, ladies, I don't disagree with sex on the first date. If you're somebody that gets attached quickly, have sex on the first date. I mean, I think having sex on the first date is going to be a little bit more difficult but you see, if you get attached quickly, you may have to just again. This sounds like something that benefits me. You may just have to have sex with a lot of guys so that you could get used to not getting attached. You get what I'm trying to say? It's almost like your first girlfriend, you get attached quickly, and the more girlfriends you have, the less intense it is. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you just need to have sex more. It sounds like of course you would say that, right? But it's true. You may just need to have more sex so that it's not a big deal for you anymore. And once you're able to not make a big deal out of the sex, then you can have sex to see whether or not you like the guy. And if you don't like him, you can just kick him, throw him to the side of the road, and just keep moving on until you find the right guy. You know, you gotta have cojones to do this. You gotta have emotional maturity to really make this work out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. If you guys want me to make more videos like these, comment down below and let me know, man. I'm here to I want to entertain you guys, not only educate you guys, and I find these videos to be more engaging to you guys and the others. I'll make the other videos for the general public, but these types of videos are for my followers specifically, okay? So just to give you guys some diversity. The only type of diversity you'll ever get on this channel. This is Alex from Mindful Attraction. I hope you guys enjoy your toxic day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy
to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life. This is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have 2 nieces. One is 8, 19, and one is 14, 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.